All right, Rick, we've got more out-of-home questions coming your way, and we live in such a fast-paced world. Let me sound like an ad here. We are such a fast-paced world. But let's talk about out-of-home, and specifically digital out-of-home. How fast can you launch a digital out-of-home campaign?
Technically, you can launch a digital out-of-home campaign as fast as any programmatic effort through the DSPs. You can be up today, immediately, as long as creative is ready. Reality is that there's usually some moderation on content, and creative isn't always quite ready. But we've launched campaigns within 2-3 days, both in the US and globally.
I love it. I love it. And you can learn more about how you can move quickly, but also seriously, spend 15 minutes with Rick, 15withrick.com, go right to his schedule, get those 15 minutes. You'll learn about speed to market. I'm sorry, corporate speaking. I had to say it. Right. But not only will you learn about that, but you'll learn a ton about out of home, because Rick is very much one of the very best in the out of home world. Rick, thank you so much for your support of Indy Agency News.
My pleasure.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for your support of Indy Agency News. Let's meet an Indy agency, and let's go to, I feel like I'm on a morning show again. Let's go to Indianapolis. You're caller in Indianapolis. How are you?
First time caller, long time listeners.
Right. Let's go with that. Conrad and Brian from the basement in Indianapolis. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with this, and then Brian, we will get into our hair product regimen here in a second. But you are in Indianapolis, and I'm curious about when the agency was founded.
So yeah, we founded the agency in 2007. After this was our third company together, me and my co-founder Jacob Leffler. We had a small kind of interactive studio in the early 2000s that was kind of incubating from the late 90s, very digital focused at that time. And then we got acquired into another company, spent a few years there, grew that, and then decided we wanted to be Indy again.
Yeah.
So we started the basement primarily as a studio resource for agencies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Like so heavily focused on like high-end interactive animation, 3D, 2D, motion graphics. And we were, as I like to say, the creatives that the creatives hired for a number of years.
Oh, I like that. I like that position a lot. Now, you've touched on a few things that the agency does and does particularly well. What would you say the agency is best known for? Whether that's a campaign or anything.
Conrad, do you want to take this, or
I think I can build on. We're best known for punching way above our weight class. I think
that's a good way to put it.
We're small, right? When I started 3.5 years ago, we were at 35 people. Today we're approaching 60. I was a client for 3.5 years prior to that, and I think the quality of the work that I felt as a client, and the relentless questioning and the relentless pursuit of getting better, and how do we finally get to the question that's most important to the business to affect that number that's in the lower right-hand corner. So it's that authentic pursuit, I think, rooted in curiosity. How the hell do we get to the answer that we want, and if we don't know the question that we're actually supposed to be asking? And that comes through in the quality of the work that's done. I think the history of the business, to Brian's point, got to learn a lot by being the creative agency for other folks and seeing where they were being successful and the challenges that they were having. Kind of really informed an approach that really is rooted in curiosity and asking a million questions in the hope that the 1,000,001st will actually get everybody to say, fine, I don't know, let's figure it out.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that. And, one thing about this too, I'm originally from the Midwest, right? And so, one of the things that, is interesting to me is being in Indianapolis, there's also a little bit of an indie sense there too, where it's, you're not in New York, you're not in LA, you're not in Chicago, and, great places, great markets, obviously, and great talent. But I have to imagine that's also, it's also a strength that you can pull from, where there may be less distractions, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I'll give a little bit of a background story. So when I first got out of college, this was in '99, I wanted to go work at Pixar. And I was dating my wife, girlfriend at the time. And I was like, hey, we're going to move. We're moving out to the coasts. I've got a dream. We're going to make animated films. And she's like, no, I'm not leaving my family. So that was what really kept me in Indianapolis.
That's good though. I mean,
it was great. I'm telling you, it was great because for everything you said, right? We're here. We were able to build something that, and we were ahead of the curve, at least from a digital perspective in this market. And it's been very good for us as an agency and as a group of people that we didn't go out there.
Right.
But it certainly gives us a chip on our shoulders.
Yeah.
Because I think you're fighting that, oh, well, you're not from New York. You're not from Chicago. You're not from, LA. Although in the Midwest, there are some really amazing markets. There's a great market in Cincinnati. There's a great market in Columbus, Kansas City, Minnesota. Yeah. You mentioned, right? So
legendary.
These pockets of great
Milwaukee
ad markets. Yeah. Louisville. We did a lot of work out of Louisville.
Yep.
For
great
a
agency.
Number of years.
Yeah. Great agency, Cornett in Lexington. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's, we kind of leaned into it. And, if we could stake a flag in Indy and be the Indy agency that is in Indy.
Indy,
man. See?
Yeah. And Conrad, you're from the East Coast. So I'm curious about your perspective on this, because you went the other way. Usually it's, a lot of times it's Midwesterners going out to whatever coast, but you went the other way. I'm curious your observations in that.
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, when I left high school, I went to the University of Cincinnati, and I kind of moved from Cincinnati to Chicago to Dallas to Indianapolis. So it's kind of been in that, I get Midwest north to south corridor, if you will, for the last, 30 plus years. And having been in Chicago was fantastic. We were there for 16 years. That's where both our kids were born. And then 6 years with them alive there, 6 years them growing up in Dallas, and then the last 8 years here. And it's just, it's hard to pinpoint the quality about it, but it's just it's that indescribable quality of communication that's very, very genuine. They say Indiana nice. I have to sometimes curb my East Coast.
No, you don't.
Directness, if you will. There's just something very, very different.
Yeah. No, I've been in Portland for 31 years. And then the Minnesota nice thing, but I went to middle school and high school in New Jersey, and sometimes that sort of leaps out. So you take it.
My tongue has like bite marks all over it. So I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
That's funny. Brian, you'd mentioned before that you were Indy, then not Indy, and then back to Indy. Why is being an independent so important to the team and the agency?
Man, yeah, that's a great question. I think it's, I'm going to speak just personally. For me, it was, kind of growing up I came up as a graffiti artist in the early 90s. And it's that just that culture and that ideology of independence and risk, it just always stuck with me, I think. And I think I carried that forward into my businesses. And that's always been important to me. Like just having the independence, the ability to take risks. You're not beholden to large organizations. You're not beholden to shareholders. We can take risks, and we can attract people that are like-minded, and we really look for folks that park egos. That's really important to us. We want to collaborate, and we want to park egos, and we want to just make great work and great outcomes. I mean, the work is one thing, but I think as we've matured, we're really focused, and we've really leaned into this idea of we're trying to solve a real problem here. We're not just trying to make pretty pictures, and I'm using air quotes.
Right.
And that idea of accountability is something that's really important to us.
Yep.
I'm not saying Indy makes it any, better or worse than that, but we can take risks, and that's important.
Yep.
I want to amplify that a little bit, because as I think about why is it important for us to be independent, I don't think I've really ever allocated any brain space to the idea that we're independent. And I say that in the sense that probably because of a lot of what Brian just said, we have a lot of freedom to just do things. And therefore, you don't have to worry about what comes with not being independent, right? I've been in giant organizations where you got to run stuff up the flagpole. And here, we don't have to do that, right? We can set out a course. We can work with a wide range of clients. We don't specialize in anything, which makes it really interesting when we go from client to client there's just a new challenge, a new opportunity, but we can leverage that same curiosity and questioning. But it's really interesting to not think about being independent, when I think that's the key to us being as successful as we've been for 16 years. It's really odd.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. What would you say, and this is, obviously you've worked with a lot of brands, and this is more about what brands should know about working with you. What's the main reason a brand should work with you? And I know you've covered a lot of reasons why you're independent, how you approach things, but what is the essence of why a brand should work with you?
I think some of the things that we've learned from our clients is that our transparency is really uncommon, and our embracing, I think, of our own ignorance, and we don't profess to understand a single thing about any potential client or new client's business. And again, it's that uncomfortable questioning and embracing of ignorance and using it as an advantage really pays off early on in the client relationship, because we get to I don't know with them really, really fast. And then you can unlock kind of the key questions that you're trying to fundamentally answer for. And as a result of that, you get to a level of trust a lot faster. And then when we make mistakes, and we're going to make mistakes, we've made some good ones, it's a much easier conversation to have. And we've encountered clients, new clients that we're bringing in, and the lack of transparency they've had to results or to strategy or to the tactics are being employed or to the creative process is kind of astonishing. And it's completely antithetical to how we operate as being as transparent as we can, both with our clients and with our employees as well, from an overall agency management perspective. And then we hear that from clients it's like, you guys
interesting,
take the mystery away and you just tell us what it is, whether that is from pricing or performance or when we screw up or when we succeed. If you want to own the success, you got to own the failure. And that level of accountability that we want in concert with clients turns out isn't as logical or as common as we might think it is.
Yeah, I would just add a little color to that. I think Conrad alluded to it. Like I love working with clients, not for clients. And that whole idea of, you're a subject matter expert in your business. We're not in your business, but we can ask the right questions and we know how to extract things and then execute on those extractions. Like, so that idea that you're at the table with us is very important. And we like clients that lean into that. And we've had a lot of success. And I also think that's something we're known for. I think a lot of our clients, we have a lot of clients that leave maybe their position and go work for other companies and bring us along because I think that's a big reason why.
Yeah,
is that we work with them. They're part of the team. They're not
right.
We've collaborated with a number of agencies, and I've been at the table with them where it's like they want to have all the answers. They cannot face or accept the fact that they don't know something. And I think that's not how we've approached things.
Right. My son just came in real quick. I have something for Conrad here. Oh, God. So let me see if I can get this.
This must be Liverpool.
There's a football scarf coming here any second.
It's got to be. Yes.
I'm afraid it's not.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about the end of your season.
Sorry about the entirety of your season.
No, honestly, I was pulling for Arsenal. I don't want to see them sitting again.
No, I know.
Just that yeah,
I know.
Not quite enough.
Hey,
What's that?
We don't got any hooligan business going on, do we?
Only if I get on a plane to Indy. All right.
Let's stand over here.
All right. That's just a quick one. We're going to move on. Let's talk about talent. Why should talent put the basement on their list of consideration?
Oh, where do we start? So as I said earlier on, like I was employee number 35, right? And now we're up to 60. Some 3.5 years ago, the entire agency was an hour from one another, right? We had an office downtown. Everybody knows what happened since then. And we're now up to 60 people, and 25% of our people are outside the state of Indiana. I think we're 7 states outside of Indiana, from Portland to Florida, then Scottsdale to Boston. So we're all over the place. And I think Brian hit at it earlier, but we got a cultural foundation that kind of centers on staying fascinated and finding the fascination in our clients and collaborating and surrounding yourself with people who are going to challenge your thinking, and be vulnerable in that thinking and take criticism and levy criticism in a healthy way. We've been fully remote for 3 years. We're in the process we bought a building a year and a half or so ago, and we're in the process of construction, which is a joy in this current environment. But over that time, as I said, we've gone from 100% local to 75% local and 25% outside the state, adding 40% of the people. And we've managed to keep cohort learning in place and do a lot of these things that made us successful when we were together. But we've taken a beating, and we've had some great success over the years. But I think the fundamental growth opportunity that people have, we're small, so your voice is going to be heard. And even if sometimes I bet you our employees don't realize the impact that they have on the direction that we're going, or how we amend our processes or change the way we're going about things. But you've got an opportunity to really influence the direction, whether that be creatively, from a media perspective, from a technology perspective, or any of those types of things. But we are absolutely committed to promoting from within. We've had some folks that have come in as an account executive. When I was first a client 8 years ago, woman started as an account executive to the business that I was involved in, and she went on to become the director of our client services. And today she's running our media and PR organization, right? So people have an opportunity to grow. One of the account executives we brought in, an SAE, she started the same day that I did. She came in with a PR background. Today she serves as our chief of staff, right? So there is a tremendous opportunity for people to come in. And if you come in as job A, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're going to be doing down the line. You have an opportunity to find your own path, as well as we can help to grow and develop folks alongside the growth and development of the agency. We start up new services. Like we're beginning an integration services practice around Salesforce, and people that are in our insights group that are doing a lot of reporting and analytics, they've got an opportunity to move over into that integration services group. So we don't stay still, and that we are constantly trying to create opportunities for people to take advantage of and grow into. So it's huge for our people.
Yeah.
I think we do we nurture. That's a big, that's an important part of what we do, is nurturing. And that really is that whole idea of stay fascinated. And I mean, our core principles around that is really about growth and nurturing internally and externally. But we always focus and start internally, because our team and the interactions and the collisions that we have with each other is what really drives the growth of the organization, which ultimately impacts our clients in positive ways. But we're very internally growth focused. Yeah,
I love it. A little bit of a thought exercise here, and then I've got one question for Brian at the end here. Whether it's a client you're working with now, or a client or a marketer or a CMO that you're like, hey, they seem cool, she seems really cool. What CMO or marketer do you want to say hi to?
Is this brand specific?
Could be whatever. It's like, This is code for we'd love to work with you.
Yeah, right. I'll start off by saying the one, whoever is listening that says, I like rolling up my sleeves. I like to work. I need somebody that will challenge me, and be challenged equally. Those are the folks that we want to talk to and want to work with.
Yeah.
The ones that are ambitious and have big goals and big challenges and big ideas. We love those. We love those folks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, complicated challenges, complicated equations. To Brian's point, like people that are rolling up their sleeves and willing to set their ego aside and admit that together we don't know where we're gonna end up, or we don't necessarily know the answers to the questions, but just don't restrict yourself to marketing and advertising or communication thinking. Think about business fundamentals. Look at it as a business consulting opportunity to figure out how do you improve the overall product that you're creating, or the service that you've got, or the experience that you have, or the whatever that kind of the brand cachet that you've got. And we've worked with tiny nonprofits to Fortune 100 companies, and they all share the same challenge, which is they've got some fascinating problem that they want to solve. And that's what we're looking for, is just how do we find fascination in our clients' work? And it's always there. You just have to look.
Yep. Conrad mentioned the word product, which is a professional segue into the last question. Brian, let's talk about our hair regimens. So I do put up the man bun a bit.
Yeah.
Please share the products that you use.
I wish I had the name for it.
Wait, what? You don't know what you put in your hair?
I don't know. I don't. The lady that does my hair says, "Here, this is what I put in," and then I go up to the counter and it's there for me.
Okay. All right.
But it's just a moisturizer that keeps my hair, because my hair's dry.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to keep it moisturized.
Okay.
This is not the direction I thought this conversation was.
I know. I was like, I'm interested. What's this question?
I am a Sun Bum devotee.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my favorite brand.
Yeah.
Sun Bum. Oh, you got the little spray. I was a body shop guy forever, but they discontinued a couple of things. And so for the past legitimately 6 years, I've been trying to find the right combination. It's Sun Bum. It's the 3-in-1. So it's the shampoo, the conditioner, sometimes the mask. Use the face cleaning. I use all of their products.
Wow.
And then,
so is this a brand you would love to work with? I think.
Yeah. The only thing that I add to it is a little American Crew to keep it shiny, because it's a little more gray than a little more salt than it is pepper. But
yeah, I get
99% of it's Sun Bum. Best, my favorite.
I'm not 6 years in, so I'm just new to the hair game.
Okay, all right.
But I'll take that as a pro tip. I feel like I'm being mentored, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you just go buy direct from them, or they've got some stuff at Target. So, but yeah, Sun Bum.
So I got a question for you.
Yes. Okay.
Best independent band to come out of the Northwest. What is it?
Oh, this is a trap.
No, I'm a music guy.
Oh, this is such a trap. Oh, out of the Pacific Northwest?
Yeah. There's so many good bands that came out.
I don't know. The Decemberists? No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people, Ben Gibbard's very polarizing.
I just saw him like 2 weeks ago in Indy. Great live, by the way.
Oh, no, I know. Oh God, there was a band called Climber in the early 2000s. It didn't really go anywhere. There's like this electronic kind of vibe going.
Okay.
And I loved them. That was when I was in radio. I'm gonna dodge. I mean,
you're not a built to spill guy?
Not really. I don't know. I guess, yeah. I mean, does Pearl Jam count? They were,
yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call them indie, but
no, I know
they were at one point, I guess.
No, I mean, it's
right
with the classics. No, and the thing is like we're gonna end this, and then I'm gonna realize, oh, I know which band I would put in there. So, yeah. So no, you caught me flat-footed.
Oh man, sorry. I figured radio.
Hey, I will say Minneapolis though. Anybody from Minneapolis, if you remember the band Limited Warranty, 80s and 90s classics, local band. I love that. And in the Northwest, it was the Crazy Eights. So you sometimes have those local bands that are really awesome. So yeah,
I'm writing them down. I'm
this is honestly, this is just me rattling off names because I'm panicking and I don't know the answer. So yeah. So there you go. Brian and Conrad, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in the Midwest soon, and best wishes for continued success. And thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you having us. Thank you.